and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
LFM Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station.
Making sense of the news.
News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 9. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. An Arlington priest is on leave after being accused of sexually abusing kids in the 90s.
The Very Reverend Patrick Posey. He's a rector at the Cathedral of St. Thomas More in Arlington. Authorities say these alleged incidents with minors happened between 1992 and 1993. Once the diocese learned of these allegations, the church contacted law enforcement. Posey denies the accusation. The church says Posey has undergone regular criminal background checks. If you have any information on this case, please call the authorities.
7 News, John Rogers. Maryland officials now admit 26 foster children under state care are currently missing.
Neglect, abuse. It could be trying to return to the neighborhood that they grew up in and want to go home.
Maryland State Delegate Mike Griffith, a former foster child, explaining many reasons why kids run away from state care, telling Fox 45 the private companies that often run foster care services need more scrutiny.
Some of these vendors are not up to the standard.
Recently, the Silver Oak Academy in Carroll County lost its license after a 16-year-old in its care was missing from the facility for more than 2 weeks. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
We told you yesterday about YouTube being banned from local school systems. There is now a growing effort to get rid of screens in school altogether.
I found an alarming amount of what is commonly known as brain rot on my child's electronic device.
This Northern Virginia dad works in IT and isn't just concerned about websites, but computers and iPads themselves, notes one teacher.
Research continues to show that recreational screen time negatively affects attention, reading development, and learning overall.
It's not just local. Arlington delays iPads until first grade. Nationally, Los Angeles until second. In a Philadelphia suburbs, parents are pushing for the right to totally opt their kids out of issued devices. Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
Maryland regulators got an earful last night from Pepco customers opposing a proposed rate hike that would cost the typical customer an extra $10 a month.
My neighbors and I are paying $900 a month bills in December and January.
Alicia Small of Germantown spoke against the proposed increase.
They may be aware that people are having issues with paying their current bills, but they're not experiencing that themselves.
The Maryland Public Service Commission is expected to decide whether to approve all, part, or none of Pepco's request by late August.
7 News, Tom Rousey. The worst fears of Prince George's County Council members never did come to pass as they passed a $6 billion budget.
There were concerns of an up to $60 million shortfall that would require tax hikes or service cuts. That projection was due to federal workforce reductions, but the potential deficit was largely wiped out because income tax revenue exceeded expectations from former federal employees receiving severance pay and early retirement packages.
7 News, Christian Flores. The relief may be short-lived as the county deals with longer-term challenges, including the loss of Six Flags, the Commanders, and the once expected FBI headquarters. A Silver Spring man is facing first-degree murder charges in the death of a man outside the North Bethesda Marriott earlier this month. 41-year-old Terrence Williams accused of killing Quentin Davis, who was staying at the hotel. Police say the two men knew each other, and the suspect's vehicle was seen near the spot where the shooting took place. Police say Williams was seen on camera walking towards the hotel, then seen getting back into his car after the shooting and driving off. Investigators did not say what the motive for the attack may be.
Holy fuck!
Dow futures down 74 points. NASDAQ futures up 17. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAP.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland and a hardworking All-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic and weather, Jamie Whitten in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
Heading through Blue Plains, 295 northbound. We're still jammed merging off of the Beltway to get past the broken down dump truck in the center of the roadway. Ongoing crash cleanup continues in Jessup. Tractor trailer had overturned over on the shoulder, but the cleanup blocks the right lane. We are jammed before 198 to Route 32. South on 270, still volume delays coming out of Rockville to get onto the spur to join the Beltway outer loop. 395 slows back near the Pentagon, heading to Lower 14th Street. Report of a crash near Independence Avenue. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Clouds break and cleared out as we head through this morning. Clear sky with a few clouds into the afternoon. Sunshine and pleasant. Northwest breeze 78. Tonight mainly clear 55 outside the Beltway. A little cooler and a beautiful Friday. Sunshine 80. For the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Staging on WMAL.
73 degrees right now at Reagan National Airport. I'm John Matthews. News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Do you support any legal limits on how late a woman should be able to terminate a pregnancy?
I support Roe v. Wade, which had 3 trimesters. First time is between the woman and the doctor. Second time is between the doctor and an extreme situation. Third time is between the doctor, between the woman and the state.
Yes. So those are the 3 trimesters. Do I understand that correctly? Those are the 3 trimesters. The government trimester, the doctor trimester. What was the woman trimester? He's not a doctor, just like his wife. However, his wife has come out and confessed. She's a bald-faced confession that she is a lion Sacagawea, a huge lion sac. Just amazing. And on CBS News, they were interviewing her, and she said, "Oh yeah, I was not horrified. I was just terribly afraid." That means the same thing. But she thought that Joe Biden was having a stroke. She thought he was having a stroke, and she went and got more hors d'oeuvres during the presidential debate. In 2024, pretty amazing stuff. We all knew that he was having a stroke, and Dr. Jill Biden, who's not a doctor, was off in the wings. She saw him stumbling all over the place, saying incoherent, ridiculous things. President Trump saying, "I don't know what he said" at the end. I don't think he knows what he said. And people in the audience laughed a little bit because really it was sort of sad. If a loving, adoring wife had been in the crowd, she might have elbowed her way in there to go rescue her husband, who was apparently having a stroke or another mental breakdown of some kind. Pretty good stuff. But the news reporter interviewing her didn't really follow up in any appropriate way. Hit her, it's good to be a Democrat. You get the fluff chop because they're fluffers. If you're a Democrat and they're, bomb-throwing, Molotov cocktail-throwing anti-Semites if you're a Republican, but remarkable things. She was asked if she was horrified. She said, "No, I wasn't horrified. I was frightened. I was scared to death. I was afraid he was having a stroke, but I wasn't horrified. They use the words and they don't know what they mean. This video has just emerged, and it has reminded us of some other video clips that you may have seen over time, and we've assembled a number of them for you today. Because Joe Biden, Lunch Bucket Joe, not the brightest guy in the world, and his lion Sacagawea wife, she is really some. And who was it, Elsa, Michael, Mark Halperin. It's like, well, we all knew at the time, but they all lied about it. At the time, thousands of them. They went on television. The news anchors lied about it. The people they were interviewing lied about it. They all lied and they lied and they lied. And then Joe Biden, who was doing really great, dropped out of the race because they realized that they had been lying so much about his doing great.
that had become obvious to everyone in the world, and they had to remarkable stuff. I got to tell you. So this is all coming out now, years after the fact. Dr. Jill Biden getting a back rub from Rita Braver at CBS News. And she's admitting that she thought he was having a stroke during the debate. And she wasn't horrified. She was frightened to death. And that's they use the words, but they don't know what they mean. They're not truthful people. And we've got yet another, not just a demonstration of their untruthfulness, but a parade of lies, because they like that. They're very big on that. Lying. They got that whole lying thing going on. And who else was it? There's another one too. John Meacham, who's an MS-13 DNC lefty who, of course, was a speechwriter for Joe Biden. Can you imagine putting that on your resume? I was a speechwriter for Joe Biden. Had severe brain damage, because it might have come in handy if you're writing speeches for Joe Biden. And they're all admitting now, oh, yeah, we all knew it all along. And the thing is, we knew it all along. I was saying it here. A lot of people like me were saying it all along. And we were being called all kinds of horrible names and terrible names by the Democrats, who knew that what we were saying was true, but just want to be combative and gratuitously disputatious and carry the lie forward, because they're big fat liars, and some of them are bulimic, so they're withered away, skinny, bony-ass liars. But in any case, they're liars, no matter how you slice it. And we've got the audio for you, because there is a lot of it. Crazy stuff. Also, here's a great one. Why people hate each party. There's the Washington Post. They put together they got a poll, a survey, a study on why Republicans hate the Democrat Party, and I don't think hate's the right word, and why Democrats hate the Republican Party, and hate is definitely the right word. They're firebombing, fascists. They should be wearing armbands all over the place. But the Washington Post, amazing stuff. What Americans dislike most about the Democrat Party. I've got that for you here from the Washington Post, and it's pretty interesting stuff, I've got to say. And then they asked the same people what we like or dislike most about the Republican Party. And it's pretty funny. The results, I'm surprised they even published them, because they're not really what they wanted, I'm sure, when they started out. Also, we got Telefrico. Telefrico in Texas. He's running for the Senate, and they've got this guy. There are 6 genders, and God is non-binary, and everybody's a cross-dresser, and the open border put a welcome mat on our southern border to wave in the gangs and the Chinese armies, and they're really not on our side, or on the side of rational thought. Pretty amazing stuff. But one of the things I noticed this morning, and I shared it right away with Milanese, because he came up with the Telefrico, but now the Telefrico people are selling Telefrico T-shirts that say "I'm a Telefrico" on them. Vince Milanese named him Telefrico, and he might have been known as that in junior high school too, but it's hard to say. And Telefrico, now they're selling T-shirts that say Telefrico. And Vince Milanese and I were texting back and forth about it this morning. And we thought maybe we should produce a whole line of Telefrico T-shirts and coffee mugs. And there are only 6 genders. Put that on your coffee mug. Telefrico said it. And God is non-binary, and put all those on. But again, CBS News, kind of like Rita Braver and Jill Biden. CBS News was out there with Telefrico trying to smooth everything over for him and make it all go away. They weren't asking hard-hitting, probing questions about all of the lunacy that he has spilled, but they were smoothing it over for him and giving him multiple opportunities to just kind of clear the air so that Democrats could worship at the altar again. Speaking of worshiping at the altar, there is a kind of a funny thing. I said it to my brother in New York right away, because it made me laugh, and it's so ridiculous. They have the sainted George Floyd, right, who's a Democrat Party hero, career criminal junkie, not an all-around good guy, but a funny video posted. George Floyd's brother buys a custom-made $45,000 gold chain honoring him. And he says, George Floyd's brother says, "The truth is just like a lion. I think what he means is like a liar. That's the truth is just like a liar. He just missed that by a letter or two. Not a big thing. But George Floyd, you got to see this giant gold medallion of sorts that he's wearing around his neck with a gold chain, and on one side it's like a lion's head, and on one side of the lion's face is George Floyd's face, and he explains it in a video because the truth is just like a liar or something like that. Lion, and it's a $45,000 golden necklace on a gold chain with the thing is the size of a child's hand. It's that big in the middle of his chest with a big, heavy gold chain. And I got to tell you, I thought we were all supposed to be giving our money to Black Lives Matter, to causes that we're going to help the poor people whose ancestors were enslaved by the Democrats centuries ago. But instead, I'll get me a big honking ass gold chain with my brother's face on it and a lion, because he was just like a lion. And the truth is just like a lion. And you're still a lion. But the Democrat Party, that's kind of a whack-doodle one, I got to say. The gold chain, pretty ridiculous. Also, back to Joe Biden and the gang. The New York Post, the wonderful New York Post, has their headline today. Their front page story is Joe Biden looking confused on the debate stage, and Jill Biden down in the corner talking into a microphone, so to speak. And the headline is Brain of Terror. Brain of Terror. It's kind of like the reign of terror, but it's Brain of Terror. And Dr. Jill Biden had been lying to us all along. And she just admitted, I think she's not smart enough to realize that she admitted that she's been lying for years, and she was lying on the night of the debate. She came out and said, Joe Biden, you did so good. You answered all the questions. You didn't fall down. And it's just that the lie is so big that no one would dare not believe it. Just great. And I love this story, I've got to say. This is great fun. The breaking news from the Washington Post, and they put it out there as breaking news on their Twitter page. Breaking news. Trump administration officials have pressed Bureau of Engraving and Printing to design, listen to this now, a $250 bill featuring President Trump's portrait. Now, this just says the president's portrait, but they have a picture beneath it. In what would be the first appearance of a living person on U.S. currency in more than 150 years, going back to when the Democrats were fighting for slavery and the Civil War. And there it is, a $250 bill. I want serial number one on this print. I'd like to be down at the Bureau of Engraving and Printing in Washington to watch these come off the printing press. I think that'd be great fun. It's a fun place, and this would be the greatest new currency, and with Trump's face on it. I don't think Trump has said anything about it, but some people in his administration apparently pushing the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, saying, hey, and the Treasury Department, Scott Bessent, the Secretary of Treasury, and the $250 bill. The way restaurants are going in Washington, D.C., you might need them to go out to restaurants for your $250 bill when it comes. Pretty remarkable stuff. But the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, and their comments on this, and a lady at the Bureau has been reassigned in the Washington Post, sees conspiracy in that, because they're very conspiratorial indeed. So we've got a few things going on today, courtesy of the Democrat Party. Oh, and they're the Jews. Have I mentioned this? They hate the Jews. The Democrats, they should really be wearing armbands. Wherever you look, the Democrats are out there terrorizing the Jewish people and supporting illegal alien criminals at Delaney Hall in New Jersey. God, they love crime, don't they? They love crime and they love criminals. These people, but it just goes on and on. The Democrat Party lunacy is never ending, and boy, they hate the Jews in New York City, no less. Park Slope. They've got a food co-op there. The food co-op in Park Slope, the New York Post reports, Park Slope Food Co-op rips Israeli products from store. Hours after boycott vote. There's a boycott vote, and you got to boycott the Jews because, the one Democrat running for Congress wanted to put them in a concentration camp in Texas and sterilize them. castrate them because Democrats are a lot like the Nazis that preceded them, the Socialist Workers' Party of Germany and all that. So, yeah, the Park Slope store in New York City, it's a co-op, and that means they're liberals. It's co-op, and they had products from Israel, but they've pulled all their products from Israel. And the quote from the store person is, "Enjoy your mediocre hummus." Oh no, not mediocre hummus. Now what are we going to do? Your hummus is mediocre. Israeli-made products were ripped from the shelves of the lefty Park Slope Food Co-op just hours after being banned in a historic vote, prompting scores of Jewish shoppers to threaten to quit the member-run market in revolt. Well, I certainly hope that you wouldn't remain as members of it. Hey, sure, they're Nazis, but, they've got good hummus. So I'm going to go with that. Tuesday's boycott vote, which drew more than 7,000 members and passed with an overwhelming 67% in favor, went into effect immediately, with the Israeli products vanishing from the shelves by Wednesday morning. Exactly what happened to the verboten goods remains unclear, but one board member suggested they were donated to a local food bank that supports Hamas, no doubt. See, it's, your hummus is not going to be as good, but Hamas is going to be better because the Democrats love Hamas, but they hate good hummus. So this is the co-op. You have to be a member of the co-op. And 7,000 members of the co-op voted, and 67% of them said, get rid of all that Jew stuff. Make it verboten. Just amazing. They say they give it, maybe, not sure, maybe give it to a local food bank that supports Hamas in Gaza or something. The nasty food fight over about 10 goods, only 10 things, like hummus, herbs, matzo, and peanut puffs, drew condemnation from even the most liberal residents of the leafy Brooklyn enclave. We will not spend $1 until this goes away. Done. Finished, said J.J. Burney, a co-op member, for over 20 years. We bought 90% of our groceries here for the last 21 years. He said it's not only over 20 years, it's 21 years. That's what he said right there. It's hard to walk inside that building and not feel the object of someone else's ire or disdain, the 52-year-old told the New York Post on Wednesday. I feel so deeply and profoundly where people no longer see me as a human being. They see me for what my identity is. Well, that's what identity politics were always all about. And you probably went along with it for years and years because you're a Park Slope, Brooklyn, New York liberal who's a member of a co-op, and you probably thought it was all a good idea. Then there's the old thing, I did not speak because I was not a Jew, right? And here they come, you guys, you people, I got to tell you. But that's not all. Then there's the baseball bat-wielding lunatic attacking a Jewish couple in Santa Monica, California. Their Jew hatred, their anti-Semitism goes from coast to coast. They're a national party, So in New York, they're hating the Jews, and where else, Michael? Oh yeah, in California, they're hating the Jews. But let's not sell them short. Every place in between, they're hating the Jews too. We're at 888-630-9625, and we got a lot to talk about today.
There's only one Chris Plant, The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. 395 North, so watch for that volume delay. It's going to be just after the Pentagon. Across the 14th Street Bridge, a solid lineup. On the lower 14th Street, crashes reported near Independence Avenue. Beltway still stop and go as you come off the 270 spur, heading over the American Legion Bridge. Beltway, Prince George's County. Earlier crash was on the inner loop at Route 4, Pennsylvania Avenue. Northbound 95 at 32. Crash ongoing. Crash cleanup continues to block the right lane. Now from Garage Door Repair.com and WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Mostly sunny, breezy today with a high of 78. Clear skies overnight, low 55.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record. and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by SHAP.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
This deer season, John Deere wants to give you the home field advantage. We're bringing you the best offers of the season, whether that's cash off on select new machines or a shot at the ultimate Major League Baseball prize package. Because right now, you can enter for a chance to win an MLB All-Star experience for you and 3 friends, complete with travel and lodging for All-Star Week this July. Deer season is going on now through June 3rd. Visit johndeere.com/deer season to enter and view the offers and complete contest rules. Major League Baseball trademarks used with permission.
Build and run apps, agents, and AI on your data, all on one platform. That's Databricks. Trusted by 70% of the Fortune 500. Find out why at databricks.com.
At first, no one noticed. The receipts stopped piling up, the late nights vanished, finance just worked. Quietly, smoothly, like the system started running itself. Turns out it was Ramp. Ramp auto-matched every swipe, blocked bad spend in real time, and ran silently in the background. No chasing receipts, no chaos. 40,000 companies, including Shopify and CBRE, trust Ramp to cut waste and reclaim time. Ready to make your finance headaches vanish? Get $250 off at ramp.com/trial.
Ready to shine for those last-minute plans? Head to Zoom Tan. Get the sun and sunless experience you deserve with advanced equipment for beautiful, even color fast. Plus, at many locations, enjoy 24/7 member access through the Zoom Tan app, along with advanced wellness like red light therapy and infrared sauna. Now rolling out chain-wide. Red light and infrared wellness support collagen, boost mood, and help you recharge. From tanning to total wellness, it's confidence from every angle. Visit ZoomTan.com to see what's new near you. Zoom Tan. Why be pale and pasty when you can be tan and tasty?
Did you know if your windows are bare, indoor temperatures can go up 20 degrees? Turn the temperature down with Blinds.com and get up to 50% off custom window treatments like solar roller shades and more during the Memorial Day mega sale. Whether you want to DIY it or have a pro handle everything, we've got you. Free samples, real design experts, and zero pressure. Just help when you need it. This is your last chance to shop up to 50% off site-wide during the Memorial Day mega sale at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.
For generations, Advance Auto Parts has been there with all the right parts to get us to life's good parts. Because, like you, we're driven by the good parts too. So no matter the reason, the road, or the ride, more than 90 years later, we're always here to advance that unstoppable American drive. Visit your local Advance Auto Parts today.
Advance Auto Parts. Get to the good parts. WMAL, making sense of the headlines because common sense isn't so common. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
We're going to get to the audio that we have for you on Dr. Joe Biden, who's not a doctor, who's a pathological liar, and Rita Braver at CBS giving her all the breaks in the world because it's good to be a Democrat. So we've got that coming up, and all the other idiots, the Halperins and who else, the Meachams of the world say, oh, yeah, we all knew it. We just lied about it. And they've all confessed straight-faced or, somewhat transgender-faced perhaps, that they all knew it and they were lying all along. And we knew it and we were telling the truth here, you may recall. And we were called all kinds of terrible names. People that told the truth were called all kinds of terrible names by the communists and the Democrat Party. I mean, and the media, the same thing. And we were telling the truth, and we were correct. We weren't walking out on any major limbs there. And also the Democrats violently attacking ICE agents in New Jersey at Delaney Hall because they want to free illegal alien gang member rapists and murderers to the streets, because Democrats love crime, especially murder and illegal aliens.
This is the Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Good news first, and that is in Jessup. After hours of cleanup, finally all lanes reopened 95 northbound at Route 32. Now that has backed us up near 198, so we're still in delays at 198. But once you get past 216, the pace is going to start to improve the closer you get to 32. Hang in there. Beltway heavy each direction to the American Legion Bridge, inner loop before the Georgetown Pike, and the outer loop off the spur. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Mostly sunny, breezy today with a high of 78. Clear skies overnight, low 55.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
For generations, Advance Auto Parts has been there with all the right parts to get us to life's good parts. Because, like you, we're driven by the good parts too. So no matter the reason, the road, or the ride, more than 90 years later, we're always here to advance that unstoppable American drive. Visit your local Advance Auto Parts today.
Out on the road, it's nice to have a partner who can help you make the most of your journey. A partner like the Love's Rewards app. With Love's Rewards along for the ride, you save 10 cents on every gallon of gas every time you fill up at Love's, and up to 25 cents on every gallon of auto diesel. That's why it's the best fuel discount program on the road. Download the app today and watch those savings add up mile after mile. Love's Rewards. Save and earn at every turn. Terms apply. Not available in all states.
If your career was built on people, service, and attention to detail, Fora gives you a way to keep doing what you love on your own terms. As a travel advisor with Fora, you can turn your years of experience into purpose by building a fulfilling travel business. Set your own schedule with no sales quotas or minimums and grow your business at a pace that fits where you're at in life. You'll also be able to connect with an international community of seasoned professionals who are building their own travel advising businesses. No prior experience needed. Fora provides the technology and training that meets you where you are. Plus, your personal and professional network is one of your biggest assets. You can start earning commission by booking trips for your friends and family. Ready for your next act? Become a Fora advisor today at foratravel.com/earn. That's FORA travel.com/earn.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $500 on Tempur-Pedic, plus get a $300 instant gift. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
Payroll's running, 401k added. So simple. Who the? Hey there, I'm you with Gusto Payroll. You look so relaxed. Sure, payroll's done, compliance is covered, and even signed the new lease. Love this for me.
Doc, am I seeing double?
Just me, with more gusto. Get crystal clear payroll, benefits, and HR so you can double down on your business. Choose a future with gusto.
Thumbtack presents Project Paralysis. I was cornered. Sweat gathered above my furrowed brow, and my mind was racing. I wondered who would be left standing when the droplets fell, me or the clogged sink. Drain cleaner and pipe snake clenched in my weary fist, I stepped toward the sink and then... Wait, why am I stressing? I have Thumbtack. I can easily search for a top-rated plumber, read reviews, and compare prices, all on the app. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
First thing each morning, O'Connor and Company with Larry O'Connor. Weekday mornings from 5 to 9 on WMAL.
All right, and we have returned. We remain at 888-630-9625. Dr. Jill Biden, convicted pathological liar, fraud, perpetrating political crimes in the United States of America, and marital crimes, too, but that's another discussion for another day because you know how these people are. Before we get to all the audio of Rita Braber giving a fluff job to not a Dr. Jill Biden on CBS, great stuff, and then what Jill Biden said, then we've got a lot of good stuff for you. Before we go right there, let's go to the telephones and talk to the great American people. Let's go to Ross, calling from Front Royal, Virginia. Ross, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Oh, Chris, thanks for having me on. Hey, I got a couple of points to note here. If Dr. Jill Biden cared so much for her husband, did she not commit malfeasance as a doctor? Because if somebody is suspected of a stroke, they have the acronym FAST, of which the very last letter is time. You have to get into a higher level assessment care. And by her own admission, all those key points, face, arms, smile, and so forth. So why didn't she do that? She committed a crime. And all those, his medical doctor team that was traveling with him as the so-called president, they committed fraud at the same time. Why isn't somebody going to say something about that? That's malpractice.
Well, if only Dr. Jill Biden were a doctor, I think we could strip her of her medical license. But since, even though on The View they wanted to make her the Surgeon General of the United States because she's such a great doctor, she's not a doctor. But let me say, Ross, that she is supposed to be a loving wife. And if you were a loving wife and you saw your husband debating Donald Trump and they're both running for president, they're on stage in front of you, and you saw your husband having a stroke, maybe as a loving and adoring wife, shouldn't you have done something like, hey, wait a minute, stop this debate. My husband's having a stroke. But she didn't do anything like that, did you? She went and got more hors d'oeuvres, and she sat down. And then afterward, and I'm going to play this for you, Russ, after the debate, she came out and lied her butt off, lied her bony butt off, and said that he did such a great job and he answered all the questions, and that Trump lied out there, which was their preordained talking point before the debate even started. And you're right, the White House doctor, where was the White House doctor? Shouldn't they say, I think you need a brain scan. I think we're going to need to put you in an MRI tube and take a look at what's going on in your cranium because things are not looking good. But Ross, you know what not a Dr. Jill Biden did establish beyond any doubt is that she lied and lied and lied, and that she didn't actually look out for the health of her husband, who might have been going through a major medical episode. And you're right in everything you say. They do have, everything has to be an acronym. You know, the FAST, the F-A-S-T, warning signs that you might be having a stroke, and you're supposed to act quickly. That's the whole idea. But the Democrats, they don't care about human life. Have you noticed that, Russ?
Yeah, that is true. Either they're murdering them or they're protecting the murderers that kill people.
Right. Yeah, you're violently attacking ICE agents in New Jersey because ICE agents are trying to keep contained illegal aliens that have been arrested and incarcerated at great risk to the law enforcement personnel that the Democrats want to defund. And they've got a long list of people in this detention center in New Jersey that are their murders. A lot of them have been convicted of murder in the past in their home countries. And then they sneak into the country here and the Democrats wave them in and say, take my daughter, please, because they're mentally ill. But it's just amazing stuff. Yeah, and the face, I had to look it up. I'll admit I had to look it up, Russ. The facial drooping, arm or leg weakness, speech difficulties, and time to call emergency services. And I think that it was time to call emergency services during the presidential debate, but his wife didn't do it. And the White House doctor didn't do it. And there was not a Democrat in the country that did it. All the Democrats lied to us, Ross, and said that Biden did a great job in the debate when everybody knew that he didn't do a great job in the debate. I'll just keep it. That's the most generous depiction of all of that. But if this were my wife and my best girl, and I were debating, and I saw myself after the fact behaving like that, I got to say I'd be shaking my head at my best girl over the dinner table and saying, I'm not sure you're looking out for me, honey bunch. You know what I mean?
That's absolutely true. You were talking about the ICE detention. Why are we still hearing the news about now not just Maryland dad, now we got Maryland mom all over the news? When is it going to finally come out to admit they committed acts of crimes by not, being here legally?
Well, as Senator John Kennedy has said in the past, illegal immigration is illegal. And Democrats don't seem to understand these words. And since you mentioned the illegal aliens and all of this good stuff, we got another one because there's these people that the kills just keep on coming. And we've got another one, Ross, this one out of Oklahoma, an illegal alien welcomed into the country by Barack Hussein Obama, killed 4 people, got drunk. He's a drunk Mexican. He's driving in the United States. He's illegal. He's drunk. There are beer bottles rolling around in the car after the crash where 4 people were killed by the Democrat Party. They're out there literally fighting, violently attacking federal law enforcement in defense of the idea of more illegal aliens and more death, because they're more Democrats, more murder, more Democrats, more death. And they're attacking Delaney Hall. And while they're attacking Delaney Hall in New Jersey on behalf of illegal aliens, the story out of Oklahoma is pretty wild. Illegal alien charged with killing 4 young people in wrong way DUI crash on Oklahoma highway. The guy is a drunk. He's a Mexican. That makes him a drunk Mexican. If he was an American, he'd be a drunk American, but he's a Mexican, and the Democrats waved him in illegally under Barack Obama, under their DACA, their Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. And now he's just killed 4 people. His name is Michael Rosario Cruz, 27 years old. He was granted Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, DACA status, in 2015 by Barack Hussein Obama, who got these 4 people killed a couple of days ago in Oklahoma, along with a work authorization permit to take a job from an American who could use the job. An illegal alien who was living in the United States under Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals status was charged with killing 4 people after allegedly driving the wrong way on a highway while intoxicated, hammered, drunk Mexican on a highway before striking another vehicle, Oklahoma authorities said. Michael Rosario Cruz, 27, was released from a hospital and booked into the Canadian County Jail in Oklahoma on a slew of charges, including 4 counts of second-degree murder, 2 counts of DUI causing great bodily injury, transporting an open container, firearm possession. He's got a gun too, carrying firearms while under the influence, and driving the wrong way on a one-way road, also while hammered, by the way. Rosario Cruz had been drinking at a local bar was driving westbound early Friday in eastbound lanes. He was in the eastbound lanes on Interstate 40. It's just an interstate highway. And he's driving the wrong way, and he's drunk out of his brains, and he's a drunk Mexican, and pretty amazing stuff. When he struck another vehicle head on, the Oklahoma Highway Patrol said. Authorities say they found empty beer bottles inside Rosario Cruz's car rolling around, and by the time they got to him, they weren't driving anymore because of the fatal car crash. He does not have a prior criminal record. Well, he's sure got one now. And here's a picture of the guy, and his arms are covered with tattoos. I'm going to guess that they're gang tattoos all over the place. All 4 people in the struck vehicle, which caught fire, were killed. They ranged in age from 18 to 20. The victims were identified as Kiersey Hickson, a lovely young woman, 20 years old. Quincy Jones, a young man, 19 years old. Not the composer of all the great music, Quincy Jones, but his name was Jones, so his parents named him Quincy. And Hailey Salazar and Brad Palmer were both 18. And the Democrats should come out and call everybody racist or something, but the 2 males that were killed are black guys. The 2 females that were killed are white girls. And so they're out there being normal Americans. They're kids. They're 18, 19, and 20. And a drunk illegal alien Mexican crashed into them and killed them. And there are beer bottles rolling around in his vehicle after he left a bar. How about all that? What's up with that, Ross?
Yeah, unfortunately, this is what we're going to keep on getting until we finally get a Congress that will do something in support with the president. Yeah, I'm absolutely disgusted. Heck, we're in Virginia, and with that being said, we've got a legislator that wants to send us all to jail for exercising our actual constitutional rights. But elsewhere, they want to, give rights to those that are not authorized them.
Right.
It's a crazy world.
Well, it's a crazy Democrat Party, and they're criminals, I think, is really the way to go. Hey, Ross, listen, I want to start getting to the audio of Dr. Jill Biden lying to the whole country and the big ruse that the Democrats pulled. Russia collusion never happened. It was all a literal conspiracy by the Democrat Party to undermine the elected president because they didn't vote for him and they didn't like him. And they get Americans killed, like these 4 young people, 18, 19, and 20 years old, that were killed by the drunk Mexican crashing into them and killing them. And he survived because he was so drunk that he was made of, liquid in the driver's seat or something. Pretty amazing stuff. But those 4 people are dead, very specifically because of the actions of the Democratic Party and really the Communist Party, the Democrat Party. Those 4 people are dead because of policies implemented by the Democrat Party, and they prove again and again that they're not on our side. Hey, Ross, thanks for the call, buddy. Nice talking to you. Now let's get Rita Braver on CBS News talking to Dr. Jill on CBS Sunday Morning, and how this should have been front page news the moment it was made, but it kind of they sweep it under the rug because the Democrats control all that media stuff. Rita Braver asking Jill Biden, wait, you were watching the debate. You were in the room. You were in the building. You saw your husband stumbling all over the place there. Were you horrified?
Were you horrified as you saw it unfold? I wasn't horrified. I was frightened.
What's the
because
difference?
I had never, ever seen Joe like that before or since.
Not horrified.
Never. Or since. Yes.
Frightened.
Or
You've
since.
never seen Never him? Seen him.
No.
Not once. Liar. You're a big liar. Everybody knows that you're lying. There were all kinds of people around him who were saying, oh, yeah, he's a complete mess. He can't hold together. Rita. So here's Rita Braver looking to smooth it over for not a Dr. Jill, who asked if she was horrified. No, I wasn't horrified. I was frightened. I had never seen anything like that before, never in my life. But she wasn't horrified. She was just frightened. If you look up horrified, a synonym for horrified is frightened. But Rita Braver doesn't know that, and Dr. Jill Biden, not a doctor, doesn't know it. Rita Braver.
What happened? I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
But she wasn't horrified. She was frightened. She thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. But I wasn't horrified. Isn't that amazing? Just great stuff. If Yes, sir. You may remember Joe Biden, President of the United States, pretty amazing stuff, was debating President Trump on the stage, and you might understand why people were concerned that he was having a stroke. Here's a little clip of Joe Biden from that debate.
That $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy.
Sure they did.
What I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billionaires in America.
Yes, trillionaires, billionaires, whatever. He's in charge of the economy. Yeah, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. Billion, whatever. It doesn't make any difference. We're going to steal stuff from them, and then you won't have to pay anything because I've stolen it from somebody else at gunpoint. And Joe Biden with gems like this from the debate.
Making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the COVID, with dealing with everything we have to do with, look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Well, he's right. He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
The media has no sense of humor, and it's really not fun to make fun of the disabled the way that we had to with Joe Biden during and after that debate. But he wasn't done stumbling around yet.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
I think that's a fact. Isn't that amazing? Just great stuff. But wait, because right after the debate, Dr. Jill Biden ran up onto the stage. President Trump had already walked off because the Democrats were having a little circle fest in a hot tub with the news media, little hot oil back rub for everybody. And here's Dr. Jill Biden on camera, grabbing Joe Biden, who looks confused and befuddled.
Oh, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the... And let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Why?
She has the gonads to say that while she's lying. She's in the middle of a giant lie. And what did Trump do? And she thinks they're all going to respond live because they think they're sharing a little squirrel brain or something. So much of the time they are. Isn't that amazing? And you did so great. And what did Trump do? He lied, she says, as she's lying. The temerity of these people. Just amazing. But we're not done yet because there are other Democrats that call themselves historians and journalists that were also lying about Joe Biden then and before the debate and after the debate. And now they're acting as though they'd been telling the truth all along. Now that it's toxic sludge under the bridge. We're at 888-630-9625.
I wasn't horrified. I was frightened.
You're listening to The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
WMAL traffic from the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center. Still watch for late delays heading into the district to get across the inbound 14th Street Bridge. Crash up ahead on lower 14th Street before Independence Avenue at C Street. Coming out of Frederick, south on 270. Watch for stop and go delays to get you past 85 Buckystown Pike with crash activity. Once you get through there, then you're wide open and through Gaithersburg. Slows again, though, on the spur to join the outer loop. Still stop and go to get you past River Road. Delays just about cleared out Laurel into Jessup. All lanes open northbound 95 at 32. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Mostly sunny, breezy today with a high of 78. Clear skies overnight, low 55.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
Out on the road, it helps to have a partner like the Loves Rewards app. Download Loves Rewards today and save 10 cents on every gallon of gas and up to 25 cents on every gallon of auto diesel. Loves Rewards. Save and earn at every turn. Terms apply. Not available in all states.
For generations, Advance Auto Parts has been there with all the right parts to get us to life's good parts. Because, like you, we're driven by the good parts too. So no matter the reason, the road, or the ride, more than 90 years later, we're always here to advance that unstoppable American drive. Visit your local Advance Auto Parts today.
Payroll's running, 401k added. So simple. Who the? Hey there, I'm you with Gusto Payroll. You look so relaxed. Sure, payroll's done. Compliance is covered and even signed the new lease. Love this for me.
Doc, am I seeing double?
Just me with more gusto. Get crystal clear payroll, benefits, and HR so you can double down in your business. Choose a future with Gusto.
Imagine having complete clarity about your health, not just test results, but a clear plan built around you. Today, body scans and lab tests are easy to access, but true peace of mind comes from understanding what they mean and what to do next.
At Princeton Longevity Center, we go beyond testing to deliver clarity, strategy, and physician-led care designed to help protect and extend your life.
Our patients work directly with board-certified physicians specializing in preventive and longevity medicine, not algorithms, not generic reports.
But real doctors who understand your history, your risks, and your goals.
Yes, we use advanced imaging and comprehensive diagnostics.
But what truly matters is what comes next.
We interpret the results,
Connect the dots, and deliver a physician-led, personalized plan you can act on with confidence.
because information alone doesn't change outcomes.
Insight does.
At Princeton Longevity Center, your care doesn't end with a test.
It begins there.
Call 888-8000-PLC or visit PrincetonLongevityCenter.com. That's 888-8000-PLC.
Spectrum TV makes sports easy, so I never miss. Never miss a homer. Never miss a home field hat trick. Never miss a goal line stand inches from the end zone. Never miss an end-to-end tic-tac-toe top shelf snipe. Never miss a downtown buzzer beater for the championship win. Get your favorite streaming apps included at no extra cost with Live TV. It's one plan, one price, one place for all your sports. For details, visit SpectrumTV.com.
Sound familiar? At Mattress Firm, we understand there are many problems that can keep you up at night, like snoring, aches and pains, or sleeping hot. Our sleep experts have the unrivaled know-how to match you with a mattress that can help. And now at Mattress Firm, save up to $700, plus get a free adjustable base with select Sealy Posturepedic mattresses. For the great sleep you deserve, visit Mattress Firm. We make sleep easy. Restrictions apply. See store or website for details.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
It's not comfortable having to call out all these liars for being the liars that they are, but it's satisfying. I kind of like it, truth be told, because they're liars. I'm a truth teller. Truth tellers have to call out the liars, don't we? I think we do. Let's go to the telephones, and I've got more audio of these lying people. Right now, let's go to Esther, calling from Boca Raton, Florida. Esther, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Hey, Chris. I thought I would. I love your show. I love you. I thought I was never going to recover from Rush Limbaugh, but since I have you, I'm so happy.
Well, thank you very kindly. It's a very, very nice thing to say. Thank you.
Well, it's true. So what happened a few weeks ago is my son bought me very kindly, and he knows I love rock music, bought me tickets for Mother's Day, and we went to see Graham Nash at the Parker Stadium in Fort Lauderdale, which used to be the district for Debbie Wasserman Blathernail's show. And it was redistricted, so she's no longer there. But in any case, so we went to this concert, I didn't even know he was still in concert. But
yeah, Graham Nash of Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, famously, right?
And after about 2 songs, he started to say something to the effect of, "How do you all like having a no wars president?" And everybody started clapping like seals. And that wasn't bad enough. A few minutes later, he said, "And how do you like that the Israelis are still oppressing those Palestinians in Gaza?" And that's what really got me. Plus, I have a 21-year-old grandson who serves in the IDF, saving his life, along saving the whole world's life, basically.
Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, Esther, the left, and he's a British fella. He's not even an American guy, but the left feels free to take shots at the United States and beyond.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 10. Good morning, everyone. I'm John Matthews. Is the ceasefire now over? The U.S. and Iran are now trading strikes with each other.
Central Command calls them more defensive strikes. U.S. forces intercepting 5 Iranian drones that posed a threat to ships in and around the Strait of Hormuz and striking a launch site in the city of Bandar Abbas about to launch a 6th drone. Iran's military says it targeted an unspecified U.S. military base in response, and Kuwait's military says its air defense systems have been repelling those missile and drone attacks. Kuwait's foreign minister calls it a dangerous escalation on Iran's part. Iran's supreme leader, Mojtaba Khamenei, calls for national unity in a message marking the anniversary of the nation's legislature. Chris Foster, Fox News.
A coalition of gun rights groups, including the NRA, is suing Maryland over a bill signed into law this week that bans handguns that can be easily converted into fully automatic weapons. Senate President Bill Ferguson.
Nobody on a street in Maryland needs a weapon of war built to fire at that pace.
The NRA's executive director, John Comerford, says the law is wrong.
I don't see the governor banning certain types of vehicles because they're used in more drunk driving accidents. All this does is simply limit the self-defense options for those citizens to protect themselves and their family when seconds count and the police are minutes away.
He expects the case to go all the way to the Supreme Court. The law takes effect January 1st. Trump administration officials have been pressing the Bureau of Engraving and Printing to design a $250 bill with President Trump's image on it to commemorate America 250, despite pushback from Bureau officials who've said it would take several years to produce such a bill and that it's illegal to print bills that depict a living person. The Washington Post reports the director of the Bureau was reassigned from her post in April when she refused to cooperate. Legislation that would allow the Trump bill was introduced in Congress last year, but has since languished. A Treasury Department spokesperson says in a statement the printing office is conducting appropriate planning and due diligence on the matter. FBI agents arrested a former CIA official after they found $40 million in gold bars in his home in Virginia.
Court documents say David Rush asked the U.S. government for large amounts of foreign currency and gold bars for work-related expenses, and he got them. He's then accused of using the money for personal gain. He was also found to be in possession of 35 luxury watches. The investigation also found he lied about his education history and military service when he was applying to work for the agency.
7 News' Adam Longo. Maryland's accidental mailing of 500,000 ballots, possibly to the wrong voters, has now caught the eye of Congress.
House Republicans sent a letter to Maryland's Board of Elections asking how something like this could have happened and how the state of Maryland's going to make sure it won't happen again. Because it's not clear which individuals received incorrect ballots, Maryland is sending replacements for everyone who asked for a mail-in ballot during that time frame.
7 News' Scott Thuman. All of the remaining mail-in ballots will be going out today. Primary election day in Maryland is June 23rd. Checking your money. The Dow is down 131 points at this hour. The NASDAQ is down 21. Up next, traffic and weather on WMAL.
It's Vince for Artists and Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artists and Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland and a hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artists and Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artists and Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service. meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
For generations, Advance Auto Parts has been there with all the right parts to get us to life's good parts. Because like you, we're driven by the good parts too. So no matter the reason, the road or the ride, more than 90 years later, we're always here to advance that unstoppable American drive. Visit your local Advance Auto Parts today.
Advance Auto Parts. Get to the good parts.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Shaft.
WMAL traffic and weather, Steve Hirshhorn in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.
On 95 northbound, still under speed from Dale Boulevard up to 123. 395 is heavy from the Beltway up to Edsel Road, and then from Duke Street to King Street. After that, from Washington Boulevard across the 14th Street Bridge all the way around to the 3rd Street Tunnel once you're in the district. On the outer loop of the Beltway after the American Legion Bridge before the George Washington Parkway, the construction there is blocking one right lane. The delay begins leaving Montgomery County from exit to go north on 270 all the way around to the Legion Bridge. Now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Weather Channel forecast.
Good looking forecast over the next few days. Already cleared it out now as we get into the afternoon. Sunshine, breezy, 78. Tonight mainly clear down to the mid-50s outside the Beltway. Probably see some 40s. And Friday looks real nice. Sunshine around high near 80. From the Weather Channel, I'm meteorologist Ray Stagik on WMAL.
76 degrees right now at Reagan National. John Matthews, News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Now on 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Chris Plant.
Mike Strike. Hi, pretty bird.
Were you horrified as you saw it unfold? I wasn't horrified. I was frightened. I thought, oh my God, he's having a stroke. And it scared me to death.
Yeah, she wasn't horrified. It scared her to death, and she was frightened, and she thought he was having a stroke. But she didn't lift a finger to do anything about it. She was kind of hoping that that insurance policy was going to roll in. And what did the First Lady, who calls herself Doctor, do about it? She went up on stage and lied to everybody and said, hey, Joe Biden did a great job. He answered all the questions, and Trump lied. And then all the stupid people looted a synagogue or something. Just amazing stuff. A very happy Thursday, too, and welcome back once again. It's a great day in America. Not because of Jill Biden or any Democrat anywhere. They're sacking, looting, and plundering. Everything Jewish is a target of the Democrat Party. They really should be wearing armbands at this point in history. Extraordinary stuff. The New York Post has a great story today. Jill Biden just admitted to a scandal of historic proportions. That's a good headline. You know, she did an interview. They like to call it a sit-down interview, like it's a mafia thing from The Godfather. But did an interview. Why else would you? You know, what are you going to stand up? You're going to hang upside down? Of course, it's a sit-down interview. Rita Braver was the Democrat Party activist that CBS assigned to go fluff, not a Dr. Jill Biden. And remarkable stuff. Turns out that Rita Braver has been their go-to fake journalist, certainly at CBS. They've got a number of them at each network. It's good to be a Democrat. You know, you get the hot oil back rub and the hot tub, and they're all over you. Rita Braver, the Biden family's go-to CBS media person. She interviewed not a Dr. Jill Biden at least 4 times. Whether Joe Biden is vice president running for president, she interviewed Dr. Jill Biden Rita Braver did in 2009 on CBS News. Again, August 2020, she interviewed Dr. Joe Biden. December of 2021, she interviewed not a Dr. Joe Biden, and then went to Camp David, probably got stay there over the weekend and stuff too, and interviewed her again in 2026, and then in May of 2026, and that's the latest one. There was the 2021 Camp David, and now this one. Hey, call Rita. She'll do a fluff job on us. And I got to tell you, I don't know, Edith Wilson, Woodrow Wilson, who is entombed in the Washington National Cathedral, the only president buried in Washington, D.C. He was a progressive Democrat, racist, segregationist, who took all kinds of segregationist action, which the Democrat Party's always been fond of doing. They're the party of the bullwhip and the plantation and all that. But the New York Post writes today, this is on the level of Edith Wilson running the government while Woodrow Wilson was bedridden. It's a scandal of historic proportions, the New York Post writes today. And Edith Wilson, the first lady, Woodrow Wilson had been disabled and he couldn't make his way around. He couldn't walk and he couldn't talk. So the first lady just took over, and the media went along. He was a progressive Democrat and segregationist racist. So the media went along with him and everything. But the New York Post, the editorial board there today, Jill Biden just admitted to a scandal of historic proportions, and I think that's true. The most shocking thing about Jill Biden divulging that she thought her husband, the president of the United States, was having a stroke during his disastrous debate against Donald Trump is that she so casually says this during a television interview 2 years later. She's admitting to a crime against the American people, the New York Post writes, and expecting sympathy for it, and getting it from the Democrat Party and the media. But I repeat myself, this is on the level of Edith Wilson running the government while Woodrow Wilson was bedridden. It's a scandal of historic proportion. Jill Biden knew how bad things had gotten with the president. She knew that he could only operate within a narrow window of time every day, and that's just the beginning. That he had trouble answering questions and was easily confused. Yet she not only defended him, she pushed him to stay in the race, and more importantly, stay on as president. Now, this is detestable that so many liberals covered up Joe Biden's mental decline. It's even worse that after all of America saw it for themselves during the debate, Biden did not resign, nor was he removed via the 25th Amendment. Jill Biden just reminded us that she and other members of the Biden administration and Democrat Party, and I'll add, and the media, weren't thinking about the country. They were only thinking about themselves. That is generous understatement by the editorial board at the New York Post. Now, let me get back, Mr. Michael. We just played number one in the abbreviated version, which is great fun. And then I want to go through a little bit. Let's go to number two, Rita Braver with not a Dr. Jill Biden. She just said she's horrified, frightened. Not horrified. No, I wasn't horrified. I was frightened because I'd never seen Joe that bad before. I thought he was having a stroke, and it was but she wasn't horrified. She was just frightened and thought he had a stroke. And what was the other part, Michael? What's it? That he's going to die? Go, you can speak out loud. That's right. And so let's go to soundbite number two. Rita Braver asking Dr. Joe Biden after she says, "Were you horrified watching him on the presidential debate?" Horrified? No, I was frightened. I had never seen him like that before. I thought he'd had a stroke, but I wasn't horrified. Rita Braver doesn't take issue with that. She continues.
What happened? I don't know what happened. I mean, as I watched it, I thought, "Oh my God, he's having a stroke," and it scared me to death.
Scared me to death. That's the other way. It scared me to death. She wasn't horrified. She was terrified. Thought he was having a stroke. Scared her to death, but she wasn't horrified. That's some semantic conflicts there, but it goes beyond that. I think. And then you have to go back to the actual debate. This is pretty remarkable stuff. In 2024, Lunch Bucket Joe Biden was the president of the United States, and he was running for re-election. And Dr. Jill Biden was there, and he delivered some humdingers at that one.
making sure that we're able to make every single solitary person eligible for what I've been able to do with the with the COVID. Excuse me, with dealing with everything we have to do with. Look, if we finally beat Medicare.
Thank you, President Biden. President Trump?
Who is right? He did beat Medicare. He beat it to death.
There you go. And Trump was funny, and he knew what was going on. And Joe Biden fell into the orchestra pit and hit the cymbals and the drum set, and it was he didn't quite, but almost, and just amazing stuff. And then Biden confused about how many rich people there are that he can fleece for money.
That $2 trillion tax cut benefited the very wealthy. Now, what I'm going to do is fix the tax system. For example, we have 1,000 trillionaires in America. I mean, billionaires in America.
Yeah, what's the difference? We have 1,000 trillionaires in America. He doesn't. He's the guy that the Democrats put in charge of the economy and the Treasury and all that good stuff. And just great. Yeah, then there was the great moment. President Trump slapping him back with the Medicare line.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more border patrol and more asylum officers.
What?
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
I don't think he knows what he said either. I think that's true. And then Dr. Jill Biden, after the debate, went up on stage and she lied to everybody, perhaps ironically, while accusing President Trump of lying. She was actively lying, and now she admits that she knew at the time, and she was not horrified. She was just frightened, never seen anything like it, thought he was having a stroke, and thought he was going to die. But she wasn't horrified. And Rita Braver didn't catch that, didn't follow up on it. Here's Dr. Jill Biden after the debate.
No, you did such a great job. You answered every question. You knew all the...
Patting him on the head like a child. Patronizing.
Let me ask the crowd, what did Trump do? Lie!
She thought they'd all yell lied. Yes, she thought they'd all yell lied along with her because they're all brainwashed, indoctrinated idiots. And they weren't quite that idiotic. Then you got Democrats who pretend to be journalists and pretend to be historians. Right after the debate, I guess this is the night of or the next morning on CBS News, they got their Democrat historian author Douglas Brinkley to come on and talk about how great Joe Biden did during the debate.
I think if you read the transcripts of Trump and Biden, you'll see a coherency to what Biden was trying to get across, meaning on paper. But we are in a TV or, multimedia age, and the slow gait coming out, a seeming listlessness of Biden, he didn't instill confidence from the get-go, and then it just got worse and worse and worse and worse.
Well, that's not too horribly bad, but he came out and his gait, and he did great. If you read the transcript, boy, he really knocked it out of the park with the trillionaires and all the other ridiculous things that he was bumbling about, and he destroyed Medicare, and he's going to beat Medicare, and just all this mental stuff. But the fake historians, the first corrupt draft of history is written by the news media. And the second corrupt draft of history is written by Democrats who call themselves historians and get jobs at universities and networks. Also, the next morning on Morning Joke on MS-13 DNC, they had, Mo Yarborough and his semi-inflatable flotation device of a third wife, Mika Brzezinski. And Mika was there, and apparently she fell asleep during the debate or something. Mika Brzezinski the next morning.
Joe Biden has work to do. He has to do better. His team has to do a lot better. I'm just not ready, though, to count Joe Biden out. Not even close.
Not even close. No, he did that. She hedged a little there because it was so humiliating. But they're okay with that. They just buckle up and take one for the party. Know what I mean? It's pretty amazing stuff.
Never heard so much malarkey in my whole life.
It's a lot of malarkey, I'll tell you right now. On the Panhandler Broadcasting System, PBS, part of the Democrat Party's taxpayer-funded propaganda apparatus across the country. It's modeled on Cuba's propaganda apparatus on TV and radio. In Cuba, where Barack Obama went to pose with building-sized murals of Che Guevara, who was a racist who murdered thousands of people and murdered people because they were black. Tell a Democrat Che Guevara is a racist, and they think, well, that's okay if he hates white people because he's a Cuban and he's a communist. But on the Panhandler Broadcasting System, they had someone named Amna Nawaz. Amna Nawaz was talking to John Meacham because he's supposed to be a legitimate historian and all that. And Amna Nawaz talking to Meacham.
It's worth noting you're close to President Biden. You've called him a friend. You've called him an American hero. You've advised him on his speeches. How do you look back now on what President Biden as a leader and his administration did or didn't do that also helped to get us where we are today? And not just the decision to run again, right, which has been called into question and examined a dozen different ways, but also maybe not going after some of the officials from the first Trump administration the way some Democrats wanted them to. How do you look at that now?
Good point. That's a really good question by Amna Nawaz. Don't you think you should really be abusing the FBI and the Justice Department and the intelligence apparatus more effectively to target members of the Trump administration the first time around, when you guys made up that lie about Russian collusion and you were all milking Ukraine for millions and millions of dollars, like your Hunter Biden $1 million deal, your job with Burisma, the Ukrainian gas and oil company, and Hunter Biden never worked in energy or gas and oil and never been to Ukraine and didn't speak Ukrainian, but he got $1 million a year no-show job because his father was the vice president. Any problem with that? But I digress. Amna Nawaz asked John Meacham about that, and Meacham kind of responded.
What happened with President Biden and choosing to run again was in many ways a classic tragedy.
Classic tragedy. Well, for the country, I think is what we're talking about here. It's classic tragedy. Now, we're going to spin it and try to turn it into an academic discussion that has nothing to do with government and governance and the truth and journalism. It's got nothing to do with any of that stuff, right? This month, you may recall, we celebrated Mother's Day. And Mother's Day is a great holiday every year. It's a great American holiday. It's for our mothers. Motherhood is one of the most incredible blessings in all of life, of course, for human beings. Maybe you've seen it, a family gathered around the dinner table when someone stands up and taps the glass with the butter knife and says, "We have something to announce. Next year, there will be a brand new mother at our table." And everyone cheers and claps. But, for some women, motherhood isn't really as exciting as all that. Instead of celebrating the sacred birth of a child, they're carrying a bit of a secret. Maybe they feel all alone, unsure. They might even feel afraid. That's why preborn exists. Preborn helps mothers with unplanned pregnancies see their child on an ultrasound, and that tiny heartbeat, they can see that too, could double the baby's chance of living a long, happy, and prosperous life when mom chooses life. Just $28 provides one ultrasound. That's less than $1 a day for the month where we have Mother's Day, or $140 will reach 5 mothers and potentially save 5 innocent human lives. And that's just the beginning, because that moment leads to real support, meaning maternity care, baby clothes, baby and mom parties, diapers, counseling, and a whole lot more. To get involved, all you have to do is dial pound 250, and when prompted, say the keyword baby. At pound 250, the keyword is baby, or you can go to Al Gore's amazing internet to preborn.com/plant. That's preborn.com/PLANTE. Yes, sir. We've got these people. Can I call them these people? We've got these people. We've got more of these people. And that's not all, because they continue to, the Democrats violently attack ICE agents in New Jersey on behalf of illegal alien rapists and murderers who they want loose in junior high schools, because the Democrat Party is criminally insane and mentally unwell. We're at 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
It's Vince for Artists and Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artists and Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artists and Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artists and Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artists and Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
For generations, Advance Auto Parts has been there with all the right parts to get us to life's good parts. Because like you, we're driven by the good parts too. So no matter the reason, the road, or the ride, more than 90 years later, we're always here to advance that unstoppable American drive. Visit your local Advance Auto Parts today.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Out on the road, it helps to have a partner like the Love's Rewards app. Download Love's Rewards and get great deals, like a free Love's coffee or fountain drink. Just buy any four, any size, and get the fifth one free. Love's Rewards. Save and earn at every turn. Terms apply. See website for details.
Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. Finding a home is like dating. You're searching for the one. With over 500,000 new listings every month, you can find the one today. Download the Realtor.com app because you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2025 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. July 2024 to June 2025.
Success is picking up extra shifts for your family. Now you want to be the boss. Success is getting your foot in the door. Now you want to take the next step. Success looks different to everyone, and University of Maryland Global Campus can help you reach your goals. And there's never been a better time to get started on your future. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. As an accredited state university, UMGC has been transforming lives for over 75 years. With more than 135 undergraduate and graduate degrees and certificates, online and hybrid courses, personalized support, financial resources, and lifetime career services. Achieving your dreams is more possible than ever before. Choose the program that's right for your career goals and get started on your next success. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Ready to shine for those last-minute plans? Head to Zoom Tan. Get the sun and sunless experience you deserve with advanced equipment for beautiful, even color fast. Plus, at many locations, enjoy 24/7 member access through the Zoom Tan app, along with advanced wellness like red light therapy and infrared sauna. Now rolling out chain-wide. Red light and infrared wellness support collagen, boost mood, and help you recharge. From tanning to total wellness, it's confidence from every angle. Visit ZoomTan.com to see what's new near you. Zoom Tan. Why be pale and pasty when you can be tan and tasty?
WMAL, making sense of world events, because those who don't know history are doomed to repeat it. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
All right, we have returned, and I'd like to go to the telephones. Let's look at the clock. Let's go to Madeline, calling from Long Island, New York. Madeline, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Well, the pleasure's all mine. I must tell you, you are a piece of sanity for my mornings every day.
We're all in big trouble.
So anyway, I just wish Joe Biden would, go off into the sunset, because every time she opens up her mouth, she's telling another story to cover another story to cover another story. But what comes to mind, and I'd like to throw this out, is the Emperor's New Clothes. And that story has been since Biden first went to be nominated as president. And they sold us a bill of goods. And I don't know how people just didn't see it. I scratch my head every day. How did they not see what was going on?
Well, the press lies to them, and they believe the press. That's a big mistake.
Hello. Yeah. Hi, Kirsten. I can't do it. Maybe later. I just bought that other table, and I gotta pay off that bed. So yeah, you know anybody that needs a refrigerator? Scotty said he'd buy it off me, right? If I did get the new refrigerator, right? So if I did, I'd have to sell the one I got. I'd like to sell it, get a little bit of money for it, anyways, and I could put it. Yeah, I don't do those things. Scotty, he helped me sell my. I had that other furniture that I bought off of you guys there. The first things that I bought was a couch and a love seat. The guy gave me $350 for it. No, it wasn't. Yeah, I'm a little pissed at him right now. Good. I need that $50 to go to this, if I need some groceries, and then he just blows me off. I'm getting fucking sick of it. You fucking show up when you want something. I am, Chris. I'm fucking getting sick of it. Not even a phone. He just, I'll be there and then doesn't show up. Oh, I'll be there and he doesn't show up. Procrastinate. And his father is just like that. Once you give them something, they don't. His mother was worse. He gets that from his mother, by the way. I know because I was there. Chelsea's worse. Yeah. Not really much of a thank you for that table or anything. Didn't even invite me over for dinner. They're jealous, spoiled. Everything's been handed to them. Yeah. Oh yeah. JC taught her kids to hate me. Before Dad died, I used to pick her kids up from school all the time. Because when I come out of the Navy, Mom and Dad let me move into the house. But I was in and out working, and I got hurt on Dad's job. I didn't work for about 5 years with a workers' comp case. I had a hernia surgery. And then I got my sister, Billy's a grown man. He should be on his own. He can't take care of himself. But JC and Gary moved into the house. But the Bible says only a fool despises his mother, especially when she's old and gray. But I'm pretty mad at Mom. Big fight between my mother and myself. Fucking ridiculous. But my sister JC just totally treated me like shit, Christian. But listen, talk to Austin. I want that motorcycle. Nah, he could do it if he wanted to. what I would have to do, I'd have to know the finance company has it through and see if they'll let me take over the note. Unless he wants more than what's the payoff, you know what I mean? If he wants to make $1 on it, we probably, but I could just take it up. Otherwise he's not riding it. It's an awful expensive heirloom. Yeah. But if not, I really don't care. Don't bother me. So. All right, I'll think about that refrigerator. Maybe later on in the summer or something like that. So, okay, later, Christian. Yeah, man.
Save and earn at every turn. Terms apply. See website for details.
Good morning, Chris.
Hey, Nick.
Chris, as I recall, Joe Biden's praise of Joe after that really bad thing he did on stage.
Yeah, the debate.
I remember her holding Joe's hands and clapping them together, and saying yay, and of course Joe couldn't get it together himself.
Right.
And then he had that kind of my depends me changing look on his face, smile on his face.
Yeah.
But Chris, I called today because the NAACP, or we could rename it the NAACD if we wanted to, came out recently with a statement saying that Trump needs to be removed from office using the 25th Amendment.
Right.
And because of his, I guess, remarks during Easter that he made. And they never came out and said anything about Biden while he was in office, about his inability to be in office.
Right.
And if you remember, back in '91, when the NAACP opposed Clarence Thomas, Anita Hill was brought to office, or was brought to testify. And guess who brought her to testify? Who subpoenaed her?
Joseph Robinette Biden?
Yes, sir. And apparently there was an FBI interview, and it was leaked to the press about Anita Hill's comments. And that's how, and after that, Joe subpoenaed her to come and testify against Clarence Thomas, who was, I think he's black, and apparently that didn't matter because he wasn't the right kind of a black person.
Well, that's exactly right. And as you said, the NAACP, which is, almost ironically, the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, because, apparently the organization was created in the 1950s or something. And the colored people, and you said it, NAACD, because colored Democrats is what you're referring to there, because the NAACP represents only the interests of the Democrat Party and the left, and not colored people or black people represent just the interests of the Democrat Party. And it's kind of ironic, given that the Democrat Party was, of course, the party of Jefferson Davis and the Confederacy in the Civil War. I feel the need to remind people, because so many Democrats are oblivious to our own history. They love to demonize and vilify the United States and our history and slavery and all this. And, they're the party of the plantation and the bullwhip and Jim Crow and everything. And they should be reminded of it every time they bring up race, which they do in almost every sentence. But you're right, the NAACP, which opposed Clarence Thomas, who is now 30 plus years later on the Supreme Court, has been revealed to be one of the most prolific, ingenious jurists that the Supreme Court has ever seen. Literally true books written about it. And Clarence Thomas, not only is he a friend, and I will divulge that, family, friends, and all that good stuff, but you can read about the historic tenure of Clarence Thomas as an Associate Justice of the Supreme Court. And the NAACP, now I've got to say that I saw this and then I kind of dropped it and ignored it because honestly, Nick, I think that nobody listens to the NAACP, right? They raise money and buy houses at the beach and occasionally put out a press release complaining about Republicans and supporting the party of the bullwhip and the Klan, which is rather ironic. But as I like to say, Nick, these people have no sense of irony. But the Democrats, they're just not on the side of the United States of America by a long shot. And the NAACP, demanding that President Trump be removed from office because they say that he is mentally unstable in some way, and that he has somehow proved this, is just couldn't be more absurd on its face. And you're right. And when I saw you on the big board there, Nick, I said, well, that is pretty darn interesting, isn't it? That the NAACP, hey, quiet down. The NAACP said nothing about Joe Biden when he was falling down flights of stairs everywhere he went, was obviously mentally incoherent. And now they've made up a story about Trump being mentally unstable, and we've got to use the 25th Amendment to remove him from office because they're just a Democrat Party front group, Nick. And it reminded me that the ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, which is supposed to represent the interests of Jewish Americans and perhaps even Israel on occasion, that organization has been taken over by Jonathan Greenblatt, who was an Obama administration official. He is a lefty first. The ADL, the Anti-Defamation League, is just another front group for the Democrat Party. The NAACP is just another front group for the Democrat Party. They target these organizations that raise money, and they've been doing this forever. And they target Barack Hussein Obama, communist jihadi, hates America, lined up with William Ayers, the terrorists, literal terrorists and proud terrorists. And Barack Obama made him his buddy because they're buddies. And what did they hit? The Annenberg Foundation for the money that billionaires, that rich people, I don't think he was a billionaire, Walter Annenberg, but left lots of money behind. And the Democrats target these organizations and labor unions because it has a monthly flow of money coming in that they can abuse to corrupt everything they touch. The left took over the NAACP, and you're right, it's the NAACD, the National Association for the Advancement of Democrats. And colored Democrats, perhaps, but not even then, really. And they should be called racists for the things that they've done and what they've done to these organizations. And again, the Anti-Defamation League, same thing, Obama administration official. And have you noticed this, Nick? We never hear anything from the Anti-Defamation League or from Jonathan Greenblatt about all of the horrors that are taking place against Jews in America on college campuses and on and on. And you never hear anything out of the Anti-Defamation League because it's all Democrats committing violence and firebombing and Molotov cocktails for the Jewish governor's mansion in Pennsylvania and Molotov cocktails for pro-Israel marches in Colorado and terrorizing Jewish students in New York and Jewish diners in Los Angeles and on and on. And we never hear anything from the Anti-Defamation League. And as for the NAACP, this year in the United States of America, more than 9 million, excuse me, a little Joe Biden moment, more than 9,000 black people will die of murder, mostly murdered by other black people, almost entirely, in fact, murdered by other black people. And that number is greater than the number of black people that died in the entire Vietnam War. And if the NAACP represented the interests of CP, and those are my initials too, colored people, you know, and then they would care about human life and black lives, and they instead don't say a peep about 9,000 black murders a year in the United States, and they don't say a peep about an abortion rate of 40% of the black population in big cities across America, Nick. So how do we explain that?
Well, we can't, but I can tell you that the NAACP has actually 3 arms, and the arm that you were talking about that gets the dark money, that's their 501(c), which is different from 501(c), which I think they need to be removed from, because they're not the collective conscience of everybody as they claim on their website as the 501(c). Dark money's going through the 501(c), and also their legal defense fund, which is, I think, the what they're using to. It was they've got a lawsuit in, I think, going to the Supreme Court about the election in or the referendum in Virginia. That's also what they're going through right now. They're appealing to the Supreme Court on that.
To strip guns, or to
none of it favors Republicans.
Yeah, to gerrymander for Democrats and to strip your Second Amendment rights away. And yeah, they're just another left-wing group. They're not representing the interests of anyone except the left, and that'd be the Democrat Party. It's appalling what they've done, honestly. And Nick, thanks for bringing that to our attention. And it reminds me of George Floyd's brother bragging on a video that he just bought a custom-made $45,000 golden neck chain with his brother's face on it, and it's got a golden medallion the size of the palm of his hand, and he hangs it around his neck on a gold chain, $45,000 gold chain, and he's out there bragging about it because a lot of mental illness, lots and lots of mental illness going on out there. Crazy stuff. All right, thank you, Nick. Let's go back to the audio. Let's see, where did we leave off here? We left off at number. We did Nawaz and we did Machin, classic tragedy, and let's see. And so number 11 is John Meacham, an alleged historian. And again, Nick, the NAACP doesn't represent CP. And the ADL doesn't represent the interests of Jewish Americans. And John Meacham does not represent the interests of history or historians. But hey, you let every now and then a little bit of truth dribbles out. John Meacham.
I don't think President Biden was clinging to power because he wanted an airplane or because he loved power so much. It was a result of his resilience. His determination to keep moving, no matter what.
Keep moving.
And
except when he's falling down.
Not ever surrendering.
Yeah, never surrender. Because that's it. And he's just struggling to find the words to try to spin it in a positive way. Again, the first corrupt draft of history is written by the New York Times and the news media. The second corrupt draft of history is written by the likes of John Meacham, who are knighted as historians, when in reality they're Democrat Party propagandists who have no regard for the truth whatsoever. John Meacham wasn't done yet.
From Greek tragedy through Shakespeare, this is a fundamental human drama. The characteristics that propelled him to the pinnacle of power prevented him from doing what he needed to do to step away from it.
Yeah, that propelled him to the pinnacle of power, prevented him from doing what he needed to do. And he's trying to make it into a sad story. Instead of the Democrat Party lying to everybody, to millions and millions of people, and misleading and their allies in the press, and John Meacham being liars as they are, lion Sacagawea, another lion sack. And there he is. Mark Halperin. I can't remember where he used to grow up. I think he used to grow up at ABC. And then he moved from place to place because they had this Pound Me Too thing for a minute. But they didn't really mean that, the Democrats, because it turned out that every Pound Me Too person was another Democrat, like Harvey Weinstein and Jeffrey Epstein and Bill Clinton and Weiner, Anthony Weiner, and the underage girls and the internet and the sexual deviancy of the Democrat Party. But never mind that. Mark Halperin, fitting right in. Mark Halperin talking about Jill Biden now to CBS News and their pal Rita Braver, saying, oh, yeah, I wasn't horrified, but I was frightened. I was scared to death, and I was terrified, but not horrified. That I thought he was having a stroke, right? And we all knew it all along, and I knew it. I said it here on the radio at the time, in real time, because I don't look at something and then figure out how I can best lie about what I just saw, as so many in the fake media do. Mark Halperin, who's not an unintelligent man, he's an intelligent man, and he was saying, hey, what now Jill Biden says that, and CBS and Rita Braver, what about that, Mark Halperin?
The reason I talk about it, besides the fact that it is, I believe, the biggest media scandal in American history, is because my colleagues in the media continue to be part of the conspiracy of silence methodist. I don't really understand it, and that's not just like a rhetorical throwaway line. There was a conspiracy of silence. People who covered the White House, people who had C-SPAN subscriptions, saw Joe Biden's mental decline.
I don't think you have to have a C-SPAN subscription to see what was going on there. I don't know where that comes from. Hey, Mark, if you're paying for a C-SPAN, you can stop because you don't have to pay. It's already part of your basic cable, and it's paid for by your cable provider. Mark Halperin, but he calls it a conspiracy of silence and a conspiracy in the news media. And it was more than that, actually, Mark Halperin, because they didn't just remain silent. They came out and shamelessly lied to our faces every day. Mark Halperin.
I'm outraged at the cover-up of reporters either allowed themselves to be intimidated by the White House into covering it, or they did it willingly because they didn't want to help Donald Trump win. And even after the fraudulent Jake Tapper book, which didn't really expose anything and pretended that this was all some big mystery revealed by the debate, even now, this conspiracy of silence continues.
The fraudulent Jake Tapper book, which didn't reveal anything. Great stuff. Listen, Michael, let's take a thing here because I got to tell you, good for Mark Halperin, but then on the other hand, shouldn't you have been saying this in the first place when I was saying it out loud? Because if I knew it to be true, I wasn't living in the Biden White House. I wasn't covering the Biden White House, but I was watching Joe Biden, and I saw what was going on from a distance. I live in Washington. I can watch the president's helicopter fly by, but I wasn't covering it. I knew exactly what was going on, and all of you people lied and lied and lied, and it was a conspiracy, not really of silence, but of lies, and occasionally the lies led to some silence, but. Even when they try to tell the truth, it's an awkward position for them to be in because they're unaccustomed. Me, I find it to be quite natural. I've been doing it all along. You're welcome.
You're listening to the Chris Plant Show. WMAL. More than just politics, because laughter is the best medicine. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland and hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
1 second, you're enjoying your first day off and forever. Then, mid-lunch, your phone buzzes. A window's been broken at home, and you're miles away. In 1 second, everything can change. That's why ADT offers security systems with 24/7 monitoring, with tech that helps first responders prioritize your emergency. And with the ADT Plus app, you can stay informed and in control of your home from virtually wherever you are. When every second counts, count on ADT. Visit ADT.com to learn more.
Out on the road, it helps to have a partner like the Loves Rewards app. Download Loves Rewards today and get sweet discounts and earn points on food, fuel, drinks, and more every time you scan. Loves Rewards. Save and earn at every turn. Terms apply. See website for details.
Thumbtack presents Project Paralysis. I was cornered. Sweat gathered above my furrowed brow, and my mind was racing. I wondered who would be left standing when the droplets fell, me or the clogged sink. Drain cleaner and pipe snake clenched in my weary fist. I stepped on the sink and then, wait, why am I stressing? I have Thumbtack. I can easily search for a top-rated plumber, read reviews, and compare prices, all on the app. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
You've put in the work to get that first job, moved up the ranks, or started a family. Now it's time to take your success to the next level. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we're here to help you keep that momentum going with educational programs built around real-world, in-demand career skills. We'll teach you how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, plus timeless skills like leadership, communication, critical thinking, and more. Affordable, accredited, and online. A UMGC education fits your life so you can keep growing while you keep going. You've succeeded before. Now succeed again. At UMGC, we believe nothing should stand in the way of your next achievement. Not doubt, not your life stage, and especially not an application fee. Just apply by June 1st and we'll waive your application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
For generations, Advance Auto Parts has been there with all the right parts to get us to life's good parts. Because like you, we're driven by the good parts too. So no matter the reason, the road, or the ride, more than 90 years later, we're always here to advance that unstoppable American drive. Visit your local Advance Auto Parts today.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
Yes. All right, let's go back to the telephones, Michael. I've got much more to get to. And I've got a fun story from the Daily Caller. My friend Reagan Reese. The Democrats vandalizing Union Station in Washington to the point that, well, I'll update you. Reopening now after the violence of the Democrats. Let's go to Mark calling from the tiny state of Connecticut. Mark, you're on the Chris Plant Show.
Chris Plant, exclamation point.
Hey, Mark.
You are terrific. I'm almost a contemporary of yours, but there are things about the NAACP you didn't know. Let me correct you that it was not founded in the 1950s. It was founded in 1909 in response to the Springfield race riots that President Biden commemorated in 2024. And the other thing that's interesting is it was founded by Jews. Of the 7 members, according to, I remember writing a report in June of 1968 for high school that the NAACP was founded during the Taft administration, I guess. And the chairman of the NAACP was Jewish until the 1940s. And when you and I were young, and when you saw Roy Wilkins, you'll remember he was always identified as the executive director of the NAACP, never the chairman. And I just found it really interesting.
Yeah, I made reference to colored to the NAACP because it's obviously
So you need to go, shut your fucking mouth. It's an adult laptop. You shut your mouth, you fat fucking police bitch. You listen to me if you value your own life. Right? I couldn't handle it and I'm like, hey, pussies, I'll keep ringing them and ringing them, mate. Just keep ringing them until they hear what the fuck I've got to say. Pussies, ain't they? Guys, I don't know that you American pussies. Like, yeah, Scott, let's ring them again. You can't keep your shirt on. Hang up about time. I'm not what buttons first. I'm too scared to answer the phone. Pussies. Don't hang up on me. The address is 26535 Mildred Drive. Melvin Scott Canning, his life is at risk. Do you understand me? And his 2 daughters' life is at risk. The address is 26535 Mildred Drive, and that's in Lacombe. What's that? Mildred Drive, MILDRED space DR. My name's Mr. Patel. Now he's racist to me, you see. Sorry, what might spell it? PATEL. Now he's racist to me, so his life's in danger and his 2 daughters' lives are in danger. He's been doing this for a very long time. You need to go to his house and tell him to stop. Tell him to stop. Tell him to stop or I'll kill him. Do you understand? It's as simple as that. That's it. I'm going now. You can go to his house today and tell him to stop or we're going to kill him. Allah Akbar style. Okay, good day to you, man. Bye-bye. There you go. You're on the fucking, you're on there, Scott. All right? You're on there, Scott. Hey, you're getting my ring your judge as well now, really? You disgusting racist man. So, Scott Canning, you're fucked now, ain't you? Now, you want to come here and be racist on my stream as well, really? I'll be ringing your judge now. Telling him, really? I mean, what the fuck is the matter? You think you're funny now? Well, you racist and that, huh?
Yeah.
It's all over for you bastards. You don't understand. You think racism's a joke? Look at me. What? What? Are you upset? I'll call the police on you, Billy. Are you upset? Ain't? I'll ring your local church. Are you upset? I'll run your church, your community hall, every single store in your fucking local area, and they all know about you. Are you upset, are you, Billy? You fucking racist. You think it's funny now? You ain't seen nothing yet. Oh, Evermore. Oh, Evermore. I forgot about you watching Evermore. You're next there, sweetheart. Fucking racist. Evermore's a right nasty racist as well. Sick. They're all into it, mate. Like I said, one by one, bro. You know the stuff with me and shit. So I'm taking you out one by one, innit? Militant style. Fucking idiots. Oh, Billy got racist now. What's happened to him? Billy can't sleep at night. He's waiting for the cops to come round. He doesn't know what's going to happen next. But he knows something will happen. They will. They will ask him, what the fuck is going on? You know? Either way, you're going to have to answer. You know what I mean? You can't come out with any of your stupid excuses, and all that. That ain't going to cut the mustard anymore, really. Shit got to the top level. Now some serious shit. Billy, this is what you wanted, isn't it, Billy? So I'm giving you what you want, my son. FC, this is what you wanted, isn't it? You keep telling me to ring your police. Well, there you go. I've rang them. At least they took me a bit more serious than Billy's police, but Billy's police will. They will fucking sort him out. They're just a bit slow and dumb, like, you know, that town on that, really dickhead. And that's how it is. All right? Yes. Younger. See what fucking big mouth fucking Scott that comes on a fucking do that. Do shit. Oh, shit. He's in the other chat room being racist. He thinks he's funny. He's constantly spamming racism. That's sick, isn't it? That's sick, and it's sick how his police let him get away with it. Hey, what a great police force he has. Hey, they're going to have to answer all that shit when the shit goes to court. I'm not threatening the fucking guy's judge and his police. Obviously, something's going to happen there, and people are going to have to answer questions. So we'll see what his police are going to fucking answer the court. Billy's an idiot. He thinks I'm looking for a restraining order. I've never once said restraining order against Billy. I want a restraining order. I want him fucking arrested for his racism. Simple as that. I don't want no fucking restraining order. What the fuck I want restraining order against him? What's he gonna fucking do? Useless fuck cunt. Except hide behind his computer and get racist. Hey? It's sad, isn't it? Sad, isn't it? Rewind the streaming a bit, and you'll see my phone call to Scott's fucking place. Fucking idiots. I gave them my name and everything. You know, I'm not going to hide it away. Fucking whatever happens, happens. They know where to find me. If they want me, they know where to find me, man. They want Scott, they know where to find him now. They want Billy, they know where to find him, and the rest of you now. I've reported everything, so it's in their hands. Good luck to you lot, man. Every time I see you lot being racist and shit to me, I'll report you lot to the local police. It's simple. Simple as that, man. It's not rocket science, is it? But you lot don't seem to understand that. You don't seem to get it in your heads.
Find that. Let's go to the outrage in New Jersey again yesterday, and they continue to attack violently because they want to release criminals and make more crime, and they're protesting violently. Now, here's one of the chants. I think it might be the first thing that I sent you, Michael, yesterday afternoon in a link. The anti-ICE agitators. Honestly, they're throwing wooden pallets at federal agents. They're trying to get shot. Their ultimate goal is to be shot, because then they're martyrs for the cause. They're as crazy as radical Islam. They're as crazy as ISIS and Al Qaeda. We've had more Democrat Party suicide attacks in the last 5 years in the United States than we've had Al Qaeda or ISIS suicide attacks in the United States. But they're throwing, here's one headline from Fox, anti-ICE agitators throw wooden pallets, mattresses. Why would you throw a mattress? It's heavy and it's comfortable. When it lands, you can sit on it. At federal agents during chaotic New Jersey detention center clash. Demonstrators, they call them, they're rioters, they're violent criminals, should probably be shot. Outside Delaney Hall Detention Center in Newark, New Jersey, turned violent Wednesday night when keffiyeh-clad agitators clashed with Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents. Now, again, the keffiyehs, they're wearing their Palestinian terrorist garb. The headdresses, they're covering their faces with the Hamas keffiyehs, the colored cloths that they might wear on their heads in the Middle East. And Democrats wear them to conceal their identities, which is illegal. And they're hurling objects across barriers. Tensions continue to escalate. The agitators engage for the fifth night of demonstrations against, listen to this, it's great, allegedly poor conditions for illegal aliens, murderers, and rapists held at the detention center, wielding mattresses and large traffic cones and makeshift shields. They're using the shields as they attack. Video obtained by Fox News Digital shows agitators kill yourself, bro. Kill yourself, bro. And how do you live with yourself and kill yourself, bro? And here's the soundbite number 16, Mr. Michael. Here's the Democrats chanting, because I just shared with you a made-up chant that Michael and I were making fun of. You're all Democrats, your brains are dead. You should shoot yourselves in the head. And that's a little chant. But we stole that, I will admit, from yesterday in New Jersey, the Democrats chanting this. It is every cop, every fed, shoot yourselves in the head. And they have the mentally ill young women, and more than half of young liberal women, white women, are mentally ill and have been diagnosed as mentally ill. ICE agents deployed batons, pepper spray, and threw objects back. In one instance, tossing a wooden pallet at an agitator after yanking it away, according to video from the scene. I always like that term, according to video. Video shows. It's not like a claim made by the video. ICE agents also deployed pepper balls against the crowds. Pepper balls. There's I saw that agent. That's his nickname. You see that? Pepper balls, they call. According to a journalist who was there, Olia Stucaster, and the agitators used cement blocks and sandbags to reinforce their line. They have a line of defense. They need to come in there with tanks and roll right over them, I think. Videos and pictures obtained by Fox News show all kinds of pandemonium. And the Democrats are a violent criminal political party. Let's be honest about that. And let's not kid ourselves. Now, let's see. So they're there. Every cop, every fed, shoot yourself in the head. That's as sophisticated as their rhymes get. They're retards, I think, is the word. And they're criminally insane, violently criminally insane. And they're there attacking the police. They actually get to the police, and the police who are manly, and then the cross-dressing Democrats attack them.
They're
always cursing. It's always the same word. I think more nightsticks to the head. Time for a lot more nightsticks to the head. But make no mistake, this is the mainstream of the Democrat Party. It's not just the violent, mentally ill, drug-addled criminals. It's the governor of the state and one of the two senators from the state of New Jersey that are out there advocating crime and advocating crime against federal law enforcement. They should be beaten to the ground with nightsticks and cuffed and arrested, dragged away face down, cuffed behind their back. You know, the usual stuff like the Biden administration did with all the Trump administration officials from the first go-around, because they're fascists and they should be wearing armbands so we can spot them in public. But get back to the ICE. They're attacking ICE people, right? And again, the violent mobs with the governor, Democrat, and the senator, Democrat. This is civil war by the Democrat Party. It is violent. They've shot President Trump once, tried to shoot him at least twice, and 3, maybe 4 times, tried to assassinate him. Perhaps most recently at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. Another gunman behind the White House recently at the Ellipse. Another gunman in front of the White House even more recently, who was gunned down and killed. And another suicide attack. The Democrats have launched a lot of suicide attacks, lots and lots of suicide attacks. And now here come the libs, getting in the faces of the cops, and they have the brains of little children who have just learned the F word, so they use it over and over again.
Get away from the car! Back up!
This is a white guy, I would say in his 40s, wouldn't you, Michael? I'd say well into his 40s, a white guy and male pattern baldness, and he's screaming and chasing after the police, and they didn't even shoot him. They didn't even nightstick him across the teeth or anything. And he's, beep you pigs, beep you pigs, beep you pigs, and he's pursuing them and chasing them. They're backing up in an orderly fashion. They should be moving forward and maybe knock out his larynx with nightstick or something like that. That'd be fun. And but he wasn't done yet with the beep you pigs. Pigs, it's like 1967 where they lived, I guess. Hey, the pigs are here, man, and they're beep you pig, and then beep you pigs. But he wasn't. This is actually my favorite part, and I texted Michael this yesterday. This is my favorite part when the same guy who's doing rushing up and not being beaten or hit with pepper balls or fired from guns. He should be hit in the face with pepper balls at close range. That'd be entirely appropriate. But here he is. Now he's yelling about what he really wants because they're all suicidal, self-destructive, mentally ill Democrats. I think really shorthand as we call them Democrats. But listen to that. He wants to. So he wants to be beaten, and all his friends are making videos with their phones provided by the patriarchy, who they pretend to disdain. And United States of America is responsible for all the technology and all that good stuff. But the hit me, like you cowards, and beat you pigs, same guy, same white guy, white liberal, severely mentally ill, should be nightstick to the ground, dragged away, and put into a mental health facility where maybe he could get the help that he so desperately needs. These people, can I just say, these people. I've got more. I've got President Trump and our DHS Secretary, Mark Wayne Mullen, coming up on these lunatics. And a little more Telefrico. Telefrico has updated his collection of loony statements. He's the Democrat running for the Senate in Texas, of all places. We're at 888-630-9625.
There's only one Chris Plant. The Chris Plant Show. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, we know you're no stranger to setting big goals, whether in school, at work, or in life, and you're ready for more. At UMGC, we offer the skills-based education you need to move your career forward. Learn how to apply AI, data science, and other emerging tech, plus gain skills in leadership and critical thinking. You've come far. Succeed again. No application fee if you apply by June 1st. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life's sleep.
For generations, Advance Auto Parts has been there with all the right parts to get us to life's good parts. Because, like you, we're driven by the good parts too. So no matter the reason, the road, or the ride, more than 90 years later, We're always here to advance that unstoppable American drive. Visit your local Advance Auto Parts today.
Out on the road, it's nice to have a partner who can help you make the most of your journey. A partner like the Love's Rewards app. With Love's Rewards along for the ride, you earn points on food, fuel, drinks, and more every time you scan. Then you can spend those points at Love's just like cash. So every stop is even more rewarding. Download the app today and watch the points roll in mile after mile. Love's Rewards. Save and earn at every turn. Terms apply. See website for details.
They say higher education is outdated, irrelevant. We say don't settle for the status quo.
At Grand Canyon University, we shatter it.
We lead with a pioneering spirit in classrooms that are incubators for bold ideas.
You want opportunity. You want purpose. A chance to lead and serve in meaningful ways.
This is purpose-driven education. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Visit gcu.edu.
You've put in the work to get that first job, moved up the ranks, or started a family. Now it's time to take your success to the next level. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we're here to help you keep that momentum going with educational programs built around real-world, in-demand career skills. We'll teach you how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science, plus timeless skills like leadership, communication, critical thinking, and more. Affordable, accredited, and online. A UMGC education fits your life so you can keep growing while you keep going. You've succeeded before. Now succeed again. At UMGC, we believe nothing should stand in the way of your next achievement. Not doubt, not your life stage, and especially not an application fee. Just apply by June 1st and we'll waive your application fee. Learn more at umgc.edu. That's umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life's sleep.
WMAL, making sense of education, because what's happening in your kid's school matters. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
All right, let's go back there. The Democrats, they're not good. They're bad. President Trump was asked. He held another 3-hour press conference yesterday. He did more press yesterday than Joe Biden did in 4 years as president. They're chanting, every cop, every Fed, shoot yourselves in the head, and they're violently attacking them, and they're severely mentally ill, and, beep. In fact, it's funny, we were talking about it yesterday, the beep, and the mailbag, one of the mailbag questions about whether we have a dump button, a beep button, and so yes, we do, and Michael uses it. Well, we just played a soundbite before we went to break of the crazy Democrat screaming at the police, and oops, missed one word that needed to be beeped. So Michael had to, real quick on the fly, hit the dump button to get rid of the F word, because the Democrats say it at every sentence, every sentence. But let's go, Michael, to soundbite number 20, because President Trump was asked about it yesterday. He was asked about everything yesterday, because, again, he does more press in a day than Joe Biden did in 4 years, and Joe Biden doesn't remember any of it. And the NAACP wants to remove President Trump from office by the 25th Amendment, because they think his brain isn't working very well, which actually just proves that their brains aren't working at all. Let's go to President Trump yesterday on these lunatics in New Jersey attacking the ICE people.
These aren't protesters. These people are fake. They're all paid for. We run the finest facilities anywhere in the world of their type. But we have some horrible killers. We have killers. We have guys that have murdered numerous people in there. And these are the people they're trying to protect. There's nobody that runs a facility like we do.
I read to you from the list that the Department of Homeland Security put out of the people that are incarcerated at this New Jersey facility. And you've got murder after murder after murder, child sexual assault after child sexual assault. And the Democrats are violently throwing themselves into the brink, hoping to be shot. I got to tell you. And I really don't know. I'm going to hit pause for Mark Wayne Mullen, right? Because we've got a little time constraint. But the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security was also asked about this yesterday. He was on the cabinet meeting. The president had a more of a cabinet meeting yesterday than Joe Biden did in 4 years. The NAACP didn't notice that. The New York Times hasn't noticed that, as a matter of fact. The Anti-Defamation League, they're out there. I think they're making Molotovs for the Democrat Party to throw at synagogues and Jewish governors' mansions. Remarkable stuff. But the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security, Mark Wayne Mullen, at the cabinet meeting at the White House yesterday, he was asked about these violent rioters, the Confederates, their civil war against America, certainly an uncivil war against America, but the violent criminals of the Democrat Party attacking federal law enforcement again on behalf of illegal alien gang members and murderers, because who they are. Coming up.
This is the Chris Plant Show. WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 11:30. Good morning. I'm Scott Lynn. According to an Axios report, negotiators for the U.S. and Iran have reached a deal on a 60-day memorandum of understanding to allow the ceasefire to be extended and to start talks on Iran's nuclear program. But the deal, reportedly reached Tuesday, does not yet have President Trump's okay. Meanwhile, the U.S. military is accusing Iran of violating that ceasefire after Kuwait reported coming under attack after an American strike against the Islamic Republic. CENTCOM said Kuwait intercepted missiles fired from Iran late yesterday, called the attack on one of America's allies in the Persian Gulf an egregious ceasefire violation. A federal judge is declining to halt President Trump's executive order that looks to create a national list of eligible voters and limit mail voting. U.S. District Judge Carl Nichols in Washington rejected arguments by Democrats and civil rights groups that the provision exceeds the president's powers. Traffic and weather are next. It's Vince for Artisan Movers. As a military brat, I remember my parents stressed every time we moved, worried something would break because some movers treated our stuff like junk. It was always stressful. That's why today, whether you're moving across town or across the country, I recommend Artisan Movers, a local family-owned business founded by Mark Lewandowski. He's a proud Terp fan, having graduated from the University of Maryland, and hardworking all-American guy. Mark built Artisan Movers on the vision of giving his customers honest, dependable, high-quality, stress-free moving services. Artisan Movers provides you with local and long-distance moves, storage, and even white-glove service, meaning they'll pack and unpack everything in your home or office. You don't lift a finger. They'll do it all with care, professionalism, and the kind of personal touch you just don't get with the big chains. Honest, careful, and professional. That's the Artisan way. So for your next move, trust Artisan Movers. Free quotes and WMAL listener discounts are available. Call 240-600-0998. That's 240-600-0998. Or visit artisanmovers.com.
Isn't home where we all want to be? Reba here for Realtor.com, the pros' #1 most trusted app. Finding a home is like dating. You're searching for the one. With over 500,000 new listings every month, you can find the one today. Download the Realtor.com app because you're nearly home. Make it real with Realtor.com.
Pros #1 most trusted app based on August 2025 proprietary survey. Over 500,000 new listings every month based on average new for sale and rental listings. July 2024 to June 2025.
Thumbtack presents Uncertainty Strikes. I was surrounded. The aisle and the options were closing in. There were paint rollers, satin and matte finish, angle brushes, and natural bristles. There were too many choices. What if I never got my living room painted? What if I couldn't figure out what type of paint to use? What if I just used Thumbtack? I can hire a top-rated pro that knows everything about interior paint, easily compare prices, and read reviews. Thumbtack knows homes. Download the app today.
For generations, Advance Auto Parts has been there with all the right parts to get us to life's good parts. Because, like you, we're driven by the good parts too. So no matter the reason, the road, or the ride, more than 90 years later, We're always here to advance that unstoppable American drive. Visit your local Advance Auto Parts today.
Ready to shine for those last-minute plans? Head to Zoom Tan. Get the sun and sunless experience you deserve with advanced equipment for beautiful, even color fast. Plus, at many locations, enjoy 24/7 member access through the Zoom Tan app, along with advanced wellness like red light therapy and infrared sauna. Now rolling out chain-wide. Red light and infrared wellness support collagen, boost mood, and help you recharge. From tanning to total wellness, it's confidence from every angle. Visit ZoomTan.com to see what's new near you. Zoom Tan. Why be pale and pasty when you can be tan and tasty?
If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now it's the final days of our Everything's on Sale event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses. Our Memorial Day event ends Monday. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life's sleep.
1 second, you're enjoying your first day off and forever. Then, mid-lunch, your phone buzzes. A window's been broken at home, and you're miles away. In 1 second, everything can change. That's why ADT offers security systems with 24/7 monitoring, with tech that helps first responders prioritize your emergency. And with the ADT Plus app, you can stay informed and in control of your home from virtually wherever you are. When every second counts, count on ADT. Visit ADT.com to learn more.
WMAL, making sense of the forecast, because you never know what Mother Nature has in store. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
To protect.
That's a fact check. President Trump at the White House yesterday telling the truth about the Democrat fascists who are waging civil war against the United States of America, against law and order, against the federal government, against national sovereignty, against law enforcement, against civil society. They're not liberals, they're the left. You know, liberalism today equals anti-Semitism. I've got something on that coming up, as a matter of fact. We'll change the name to progressivism. They do this from time to time, every few decades. Hey, let's change our name, because everyone figured out that we're a death cult. Like Jonestown, maybe we should stop calling ourselves liberal and start calling ourselves progressives. And then they destroy the brand progressive and switch it back again because they're mental. And I think I need to talk about this more, but it's such fun. President Trump's face on the new $250 bill, American currency. I want to get to that in a couple of minutes because it made me laugh out loud. And the mental cases. They're mental. But we just played President Trump there saying that these lunatics that are attacking federal law enforcement, they're paid for, they're fake, they're not legitimate. It's the left. They're communists. They're organized against our culture, against our civilization. They're creating divisions between the races, between ethnicities, ethnic groups, between law enforcement and anti-law. And that's the Democrat Party anti-law and anti-law enforcement. And they're, I think, all violent criminals. I think if you're a registered Democrat, chances are very, very good that you're a mentally ill, violent criminal, probably armed illegally. Mark Wayne Mullen is the Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security. Like I say, when I was doing the television show on Newsmax, Mark Wayne Mullen came on the show at least a couple of times. And couldn't be a nicer guy, couldn't be more relaxed, more mellow, and self-contained. And he's really nice guy. He's also, I think he's had 4 mixed martial arts fights, and he won all 4 of them. And he bench presses 400 pounds. He bench presses 400 pounds. But here's Mark Wayne Mullen yesterday at the cabinet meeting in the White House, and he was asked, hey, what about this? President Trump was asked, and Mark Wayne Mullen decided, as DHS Secretary, that he'd jump in as well.
It shows this radical left Democrats' priorities when they decide to go out and protest a detention center where we're housing rapists, child predators, murderers, drug dealers, and they choose Memorial Day of all the time to go protest something that they say that it's because they're on a hunger strike and there was only a handful of individuals that was refusing to eat because they want their ethnic group or their ethnic right food. Well, they go back to the country and get whatever food they want.
It turns out the fake news media has been claiming that they're fighting on behalf of the poor, innocent, illegal alien gang members, murderers, and rapists in the detention facility because they're on a hunger strike, like Bobby Sands, the IRA terrorist. And yeah, they're on a hunger strike. And Mark Wayne Mullen, DHS Secretary, just made clear, no, actually, they want more culturally sensitive meals served to them because whatever the food is that we're serving in there, not up to their illegal alien standards. And Mark Wayne Mullen appropriately, rightly mocking that, oh, you want different food. You're not on a hunger strike. You're just protesting because you want Guatemalan food or you want Salvador food or, something like that because they're mental. Mark Wayne Mullen telling the truth, and he wasn't done yet.
The fact is, we're giving them the calories they want. This isn't Holiday Inn. We're giving sanitation. But for the Democrats and the governor, like Governor Sherrill and Senator Kim and Senator Booker, to go out and do something like this of all the days is very frustrating.
Of all the days, Memorial Day, and that's right, because they're just not on Team America at all. Not at all. They're pro-crime, pro-criminal, pro-open borders, pro-illegal aliens, pro-illegal alien gang members. And in the end, what they're advocating for leads to their policies have consequences. Elections have consequences. Democrat vote for people that want more murder, and they have enough political power to see to it that we have more murder. And you got 4 kids killed in a head-on car crash with a drunk Mexican illegal alien driving the wrong way on an interstate highway. He's in the westbound lanes, and he's headed east, and he head-on with, or the other way around, head-on with a car, got 4 people, young couples, 2 couples, interracial couples, 18, 19, and 20 years old, killed all 4 of them, and the drunk Mexican lived, of course. That's why he's a Mexican, and he was drunk. And there were beer bottles rolling all over the interior of the car, and he had just come from a bar where he was drinking his brains out. Never mind that. The Democrats, their policies created this illegal alien mass murder. 4 people killed, and he's under arrest for vehicular manslaughter of 4 people. And, 4 families are devastated, and it's because Barack Hussein Obama gave this illegal alien Mexican criminal deferred action against childhood arrivals status. And he stayed here and drank for a few years and then killed 4 young people. And the blood is very, very much on the hands of the Democrat Party from Barack Obama and Joe Biden on down to the lowest drug dealer on the Democrat street corner. So we got that. I got a huge kick out of this story when I saw it this morning, and I'm still laughing about it. President Trump and the Democrats are very angry about it, talking about a $250 bill. A bill. We've got a $20 bill and a $100 bill, and in fact, the most counterfeited currency in the world outside of the United States is the American $100 bill, very much in demand, and inside the United States. The most commonly reproduced counterfeit bill is the $20 bill. And that's kind of interesting because it was George Floyd that passed a counterfeit.
Hello? Yes, it is. All right, bye. I have to go.